The heck? You have got to be kidding me. How does that even happen? Well, good morning. Welcome back to Weems Motor Co. Today we're going to be out in the shop. I know we started this video series with a ride down to Lake Okeechobee, but Weems Motor Co. is going to be a two-part schedule. We're going to have on the road and we're going to have in the shop. And today we're going to be working on Hollywood Run, the other David Mann Triumph. We've kind of put ourselves in a time crunch. We only have 24 days until the bike is to be unveiled, and we have a lot of work to do. Check it out. That's as she sits right now. Just a rear tire, a frame, a tank that needs some more clear coat. There's no motor, there's no transmission, there's no front end, and the motor is completely empty cases. And to boot, we broke our vise. No! How does that even happen? I don't have a clue. So we're gonna have to make a run, go purchase a new vise so we can get this motor going so that we can get this bike together. Stay tuned. Alright, let's get this new vise mounted up. Alright, now that we got that together, we can get on to the real business, working on the bike. So yeah, more back to this channel thing that we're doing. Woo, rubber gloves. The plan is for Weems Motor Co. YouTube channel is to do a two-part segment so that you guys can kind of see behind the scenes and also get to have a lot of fun out on the road too. You know, being a motorcycle builder, a husband, a father, presents all of his challenges, and I know many of you guys out there are in the same boat I am, and you're like, how does this guy end up doing these builds, but yet balance life and family and kids and everything that goes along with it? So I wanted to take you guys on a little journey with me as we do it. Today we're going to be working on the other David Mann bike, Hollywood Run. The bike is based off of his very first painting, and I'm utilizing a 1951 Triumph Thunderbird motor. We're going to be using a 1958 slick shift transmission. Some cool things in that transmission. We'll talk about those later. And the frame is a 1959, so it's kind of a mixed mosh. I think very much like what the guys would have done back in the 60s and 70s. Use what parts you got, how you can make it work, and put it together and make a really awesome chopper. So that's what I'm doing. What am I doing with these bearings? So we're going to pack some bearings, but as we're packing bearings, I just wanted to have a conversation with you guys, kind of talk. I got into Triumphs because my dad had a 49 Triumph when I was growing up, and I remember this bike as a no-frills little bobber that he had pieced together from parts from a shopping cart, actually, and put together this really cool little cool bobber. But I remember hearing stories from my brother and my mom about when I was young. My dad was at work, and he came home from work one day and found me with his tools taking his motorcycle apart. So seeing Dad freaked out, my brother says I hightailed it for the back door. But that was my very first experience with a Triumph, probably first experience working on a motorcycle. I had to be probably 6 or 7 years old. And, it just kind of started that passion for me. I love Triumphs. I love all British vintage motorcycles, VSAs, Nortons, AJS, Ariels. And if I could get my hands on like a Vincent or something, would be pretty sweet. But I know these Triumphs kind of like the back of my hand. I've been doing them for a long time, and it's a great passion that I enjoy. So we're packing the bearings up. I know normal people use a bearing packer. I like doing it by hand. I just kind of feel that when I get my hands on as many parts of this bike, it gives me more of a connection to it. So let me pack the bearings. We're going to throw them over into the freezer for a little while and get them cooled down so we can get them into the transmission case. Stick around. So while those bearings are over into the freezer getting cooled down, talk to you a little bit about the Triumph Slick Shift transmission. Really cool design that they came out with around 1958. And inside this transmission, it had this really cool mechanism that attached to the shifter arm. So as you engage the shifter arm, it automatically pushes the push rod, the clutch push rod, disengaging the clutch, so that the bike, essentially, you didn't need to have a clutch handle on your handlebars while you're shifting. Really cool design. A lot of the guys back then didn't like the design, so they said, I'm going to remove this little mechanism out of that, and so I can return it back to a normal shifting bike. This transmission I found still has that little mechanism in it, which is really cool. I like the quirkiness of Triumphs. So I'm going to keep that in there. Might do some cool designs with how to engage the clutch and how to change the gears in the transmission. So stick around. That's the Slick Shift, man. guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video this week. We got the transmission, we got the gears all set in there. We got to get the inner transmission cover all assembled, get the transmission assembled, get it timed just right. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the build so far, so stick around. We got plenty of more YouTube videos coming. Make sure that you hit that like button, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe, and make sure that you turn on the notifications. Spread the word. Weems Motor Co. has got a lot of great stuff going on. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.